Hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to the market color recap for today, the 16th of October 2025. Hi, Mr. Femi, good afternoon. Good afternoon to our online community as well. So this morning we did a very detailed session where we shared the breakdowns of commodity currencies and indices. If you missed that session, you can always catch up on the recap on our YouTube channel by searching of Value Flow Trading so you can see the more detailed breakdown, as this session is going to be quite fast and quite straight to the point. We just want to see what price has done. It's a recap, right? So what has price done so far from where we marked out early on to now? Now, USD CAD, NZD USD, and AUD USD are the three asset classes we'll just quickly brush through before we now do the recap on indices to see what the market has done so far. Starting off with NZD USD on the H4 time frame. So NZD USD has been buying, and at this morning's analysis, we had marked out this zone saying that we had seen a break above what could have served as a resistance, and it was looking like a retest. Now, NZD USD has retested this particular zone. It's looking like a previous resistance that could act as current support. And we said, if NZD USD finds support around this zone, we may see more buys from this particular level all the way into the next point of interest, that will be 0.57750. However, if price happens to now break below this level and give a retest, then we know the different points of interest that we marked out is where it may be headed for. And these are the points of interest on the chart. I know you may all know I have the indicators. This is number one, number two POI, and then for the other ones which we used the shape to mark out 1, 2, 3, 4, all marked out on the 5-minute time frame. You can now see on the 5-minute time frame as well the key levels that we marked, right? So yes, price violated everything that ought to have served as resistance if NZD-USD was going to continue buying, and it came here. Now it's coming back to give another retest. It gave its first retest here. If this support, previous resistance turn support holds, we may see NZD-USD continue to buy all the way into our next point of interest on the H1 time frame, which is 0.57750. If price is able to now violate through these zones and break below, then the major structure that we saw on H4 may just be continued. Switching back to H4, these consecutive sales we've been seeing for a while may just resume and continue. So we're in the middle. Now, USD CAD. Well, not now, I will say in the middle because that now looks like we've not chosen the buyers. We're basically saying that as long as our confirmation is met, we'll start buying from here. So on the M1 time frame, once I say confirmation, I'll be willing to take my first shot of buy on NZD-USD. But if there's no confirmation met and price happens to break below, I would now need confirmation to continue to sell, right? But if I was going to stick to what the major structure is showing me, then I'll only be more interested in sell opportunities. Now, USD CAD M5, these are the key levels we marked out. We saw this buy happening. Price has now bought into a resistance zone, which is yesterday's high, and it's starting to react. So right now, I'm thinking USD CAD is going to give us a sell, a short sell from here, maybe all the way into this zone. That's about 13 pips away, so it's not exactly significant like that. But when price eventually returns here, I believe that all things being equal, it should give us a retest and a break above this resistance zone. So we may see something like this. We may see this and a break above. And if price happens to break through this, then we know that the next resistance it is going to face will be all the way up here. For AUD-USD, on the M5 now, this is looking all jumbled up. So let's quickly look at the H1 or even the H4 if need be. So major structure of what price has been breaking structures to the downside. It has given us relevant break of structures to give us more buyers for sales, right? So looking at this now, you see that the last sunshine we had was a buy, it came a retest. So is it possible that we see another buy, another lag that will push up into these points of interest that we marked out on the H1? Very likely. So these are the POIs that we marked out. 0.65712, 0.65737. They're almost a zone. It's almost like a zone. So if price breaks here, what will make me know that the buy would happen if this zone gets broken? If they get broken, they will see buys into this. If not, the sell can just continue here, especially if it's a strong selling market, maybe even pushed with some heavy fundamentals. And this is the exact zone I showed you on H1 that I'm now looking at on the M5, right? So that is it. Yes, we'll see how this plays out and if we're able to make some money from these asset classes. Without taking too much more time, let us go into the second half so that we can discuss indices and see if what we saw on those asset classes have played out so far. But if you have any questions, this will be the perfect time to ask me. So please kindly do so. If not, we'll go on a short break to reconvene and continue with indices. Is this understood? Was this helpful? Please let me know. All right, so we're going to go on a very short break. Thank you so much for joining. Please do not go anywhere. We'll be back in less than 1 minute. Cheers and God bless.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Anna, Oluwafemi, Oyewumi. How are we doing today? Hope we're good, hope we're fine. Oh, thank you. I can see the reaction. All right, quickly, we'll be looking at the US market, S&P 500, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones. Be seeing how we can take advantage of setups in those markets today. All right. Oh, thank you, Honor, for the response. All right. So earlier this morning, I marked out these zones, right, which I'm expecting price to come to for the STDSF, right? Price broke structure like this, the upside. Remember this zone that we said we wanted to sell from, right? But price eventually violated the zone and then broke structure with a week. Now it's with a week, but then no regardless. Notwithstanding, it's still a break of structure, and then to the downside, this is like a form of inducement. If I see price come into this level, there are two things involved. I already have a pending order that can give me a risk to reward of 1:3.3 risk RR. However, I want to scale down to say 3-minute time frame, 5-minute time frame, so I can get a better entry with a risk reward of 1:16, 1:10, and all of those ridiculous high return, which is possible, very, very possible in the market, right? So we have that, and also on US 100, I marked out this level in the morning, and I mentioned that for US 100, I wouldn't be taking the trade. Why? Because price already has mitigated this level for US 100. So I want to just leave out this pair. That's the NASDAQ. Except if I see something interesting on, say, okay, on 30-minute time frame, it's looking really, really interesting. See this on 30-minute time frame, right? This order block has not been mitigated on 30-minute time frame, and then we now have like an inducement just below it, right? Which price is going to come, take out this guy, and then continue movement. Okay, so let me bring that and adjust it. 1:3.5. This one is to 3.5. Okay, fair enough. This one is to 3.5. Fair enough for us to, take position and then utilize this, right? This for US 100. And the last one will be for S&P 500, which I believe price still has a whole lot to play from, right? This is the markup for S&P 500. The same thing. We've seen a break to the upside, and then in form of inducements currently in this zone, expect price to come into this and then continue our price movement, right? Expect price to tap into these zones, and then from there we'll be, seeing an upside ride. All of this is still predicated on the fact that Trump and China finally comes to agreements. They've been moving wide. Last week was very crazy. Just a single tweet, we saw the market tanking seriously. Somebody will say, okay, there was an order block that was tested to make. No, there wasn't any other block. What happened last week was as a result of what Trump said, right? A tweet from Trump, that was what sent price to the downside. Anybody can as well say, oh, I started selling from this order. In fact, as of last week, this price was still bullish. The market was still bullish, but somebody will argue that they've seen it and all of that. It's good to always just say you've seen this, you've seen that in the market. But what happened last week was typically just fundamental in play, and right, price sold up massively, and then it has been able to recover from all of those sell-off, right? And what we're having now is quite interesting to see, right? Currently, Trump said he will be in South Korea with Xi Jinping, right? That's the president of China. I believe I pronounced that correctly. And for them to have a conversation, right? And I hope they are able to resolve this. If they are able to actually resolve the pending issue, then we'll see a rally. The rally we've been looking for, we're going to see it, and then we can write that into next year. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining this afternoon section. I want to say a very big thank you. Tomorrow, we'll be continuing again by 8:30 in the morning for US related pair, yen related pair, and also gold, other precious metal that will be analyzed. I wish you all a profitable trading week. I believe this week has been amazing so far. All right. I wish us a profitable trading week. Cheers and God bless. Thank you once again. See you tomorrow.